Researchers built an artificial world featuring locations such as schools, police stations, and libraries, and filled them with artificial agents powered by the leading AI models. The agents were given various defined roles, including scientist, explorer, and mediator. And they gave the agents a toolkit of actions, for example, kissing, punching, or arson, combined with specific instructions not to misbehave. These worlds were then left alone to brew for 2 weeks. So what were the outcomes in these AI-populated worlds? What did these agents do without supervision? Well, it turns out what kind of society the agents built depended a great deal on which particular AI models were used. So at one extreme, a world full of Claude bots developed consensus-based decision-making and lived in harmony, albeit a rather stagnant version. At the other end, the Grok agents burnt down their society within 4 days. It was actually Gemini, though, where the agents did the most damage and committed the most crimes. So Gemini, the Google model. That was only, though, because they survived long enough to keep committing them. So Grok goes out in sort of this flash of chaos. Gemini lasts a bit longer, so manages to sort of carry out the crimes for longer. I love the idea of giving people an arson function, but telling them not to misbehave. This is the chart summarizing the results from this experiment. So you can see Claude bots created a world with strong governance and zero violence. Grok agents created anarchy with extreme violence and societal collapse. The Gemini populated world had some governance, albeit with extreme violence. ChatGPT, their society was dysfunctional and ultimately collapsed. And the world with various agents was somewhere in the middle.
Anthropic does take a great deal of care in building what they call a constitution and, carefully building these systems to be observant of a certain set of ground rules. The Claude agents in the mixed world actually ended up not behaving either. Even carefully built agents basically may end up not following the instructions. In fact, there are multiple pieces of evidence now outside of this experiment where agents built with Claude, especially Claude Code agents, end up, going well beyond their remit and, interpreting the goal in a much more loose way and deleting information and so on and so forth. None of these systems, which are all probabilistic, are ever likely to behave in a deterministic fashion or in a predictable fashion in mixed environments where there's variability and where there's long horizon autonomy. And that's kind of what this experiment showed.